got 10 combination here. Walk around while dropping trash, walk around while throw, and so on. And then after that, we combine the data. There are two types of combination. The first one is for the ablation study. So we combine it using a discrete joint temporal multi-action uh, combination. So that means we only combine by comparing whether the movement in that particular joint and timestamp is bigger than the other one. So for example, M1 means that the motion from the first action, and M2 is the motion from the second action. And this is the sample of class label, and the sample data is like this. I just visualize the sequence of the skeleton, and this is also the result. But in this case, we frequently got this kind of uh, sample, the same as sample 2. Sometimes it only capture the first action. Sometimes it only capture the second action. Why? It is because when one action is too dominant from the other, then that means the other one will, with this formula, then the other one will be dominated. So we have to discard this level. But if we discard this level, then we don't have enough sample uh, to train our model with this level. So so we uh, so we propose to combine with continuous joint temporal multi-action combination with this measurement. So in this measurement, we compare the motion from first to the second action by uh, dividing with the both of the motion in the same joint and time. So this is the sample of the combination, the class label. So we obtain two class label because we combine only two action here. So for example, we visualize the example of the sample in the 8th frame and 33rd frame from the skeleton. So we can see the human form here, right? And we can see here if X means that this is class 1, and then circle means class 2, and then the triangle is the weighted level because we weight here. So we have three levels in the label, the annotation. And also, and then we design the architecture, but this is actually not new design of architecture of model architecture because we use feature pyramid network that have been used before. We just modify to our need. So we only use the main part of the feature pyramid network. That is the uh, layer, the layer, three layers, and then we concat all the layers, feature map, and then do classifier. So here, this this work is actually classification, but in multi-dimension. So our predicted label will be like this. So here, because we address the problem of the previous objective function, so we also propose a new objective function that can be solving that ambiguity problem in joint temporal multi-action segmentation. So first, we propose independent point class distribution loss. So in this independent point class distribution loss, uh, we cannot take the correlation between two two join and time. Uh, Let me see. Oh, I don't have the visualization for this one. So, and then here we measure the difference between the ground truth in the same joint and time and the prediction and with the correlation between the predicted and the ground truth in the same joint and time. And you should see why this should be correlated because this is an array. So this is an array of all class labels. Here we consider the combination of the class, as we have an example before, right? And the second one is joint dependency loss. So here we use mutual information theory. So this we calculate the mutual information between two joints in the, for example, joints A and joints B. Joint A means that in the neighboring joint. So for example, this is the first joint and this is the second joint. So we calculate the dependency between these two joints, the mutual information between these two joints. And we calculate the difference between the ground truth and then the predicted label from this one. So then our proposed total loss is calculated as the IPC loss as the main objective function and with the weighted dependency loss as the additional loss. And this is our result. Our result here show that our total or our proposed loss show the best result so far instead of cross entropy MAE and MSE in some models. So we use 5 backbones here: AAGCN, CTR-GCN, InfoGCN, TD-GCN, and MSSTNet. This MSSTNet is a model, convolution-based model for skeleton-based action recognition. And the RMSE comparison for class and non-class region. What is class and non-class region? So class means that here 0 means 1, right? I mean yellow means 1, and then the black part is 0. So that means 0, the black part is the non-class part and the class part is the yellow one. So we also calculate the error in each class and non-class part. And even in the non-class part, MSE sometimes still show better result from ours, but mostly in our experiment, we can show better result. So visualization from our result, we can see here. Here. So I will show you the ground truth first. So this is the ground truth. So this is class 0 to this is class 0 to class 9. So that means we have to get that exact result, but you can see here, cross entropy loss. There are so many errors in the 0 class, in the non-class. There are so many errors here. And also the bad part is in the when the class is axis, when the motion is axis, we can see that they cannot really capture this kind of difference. So for example, this line should have some kind of ambiguity, but here they cannot recognize the ambiguity in this part. That kind of thing also happen in MAE, but in MSE, it is better. But in the kind of like between the ambiguity and the clearer part, there is uh, this is really bad result, right? So for ours, we have two result. The first result is only using the main uh, objective function, and the second one is using the total loss. You can see here, the total loss works better, even if between the closest joints here. Maybe we can see the difference here. So if we take a look at the visualization of the skeleton, in the real skeleton is like this. So for example here, this is action doffing and stand up. Doffing is take off a jacket, taking off a jacket. So here you can see that this in the particular, in the specific joints, it has recognized doffing and also stand up. Besides that, uh, uh, let me remind you about cross entropy, balance cross entropy, and focal loss. What is cross entropy? So in cross entropy, usually we do the log of the entire thing, right? But this is actually not actually entire thing, but in cross entropy, we only consider each of the class. So we have 10 class. What we have to do is matching the pattern of the whole class. But here, cross entropy only measure the difference between each individual, each independent class. So that means in this measurement, in this calculation, there is no consideration to the other class. So that's why uh, we claim that our method will be better than cross entropy loss. That also happened in IOU loss and dice loss. But IOU loss and dice loss doesn't really suitable for our problem because as you know that our problem is considering the ambiguity, while IOU loss is calculating the area. That means the ambiguity in the borderline is really difficult to calculate in IOU. And this is just the ablation study for the discrete multi-action segmentation result. This is also like that. And for this one is also my ablation study for continuous multi-action segmentation. While we also try to do simpler IPCD loss, but it is not working that good. So that's why we still attach with our proposed method before. So actually this work still have so many issues. So one of the issues is that it is really difficult to obtain accurate joint temporal annotated data. As I said that in the real data, ambiguity is exists and sequential multi-action is also exists. But the thing is that to obtain the annotation is really difficult and also cost expensive to do that, to annotate the data. So because of that, there is really limited data to do this research. And the other issue is that we only consider two main motion, only main motion. So in this work, we didn't consider the representational action. As we know that in the actual human movement, in the actual human activity, human usually do that kind of thing, all kind of things, and we have so many styles. Each person have different styles, so that means there are so many representational motion should actually exist, but in this dataset, we don't have that representational motion. So that's why we also will present the decomposition from multi-motion style transfer. So what is motion style transfer? So usually the mechanism in motion style transfer is like this. So we have source style. Source style means that we have to obtain, we have to extract only the style from this data, while the target style means that we have to obtain the extract only the main motion. So that means we will replace the style from this data with the source style. So for example here, strutting is the style and punch is the action, main action. While this one, depressed is the style and running is the content. So what we want to do is retaining the running one and then transferring the strutting style into this running content. So that means we need style extractor and content extractor. And then we have to combine these two things to obtain the output. So for example, this. So this is strutting punch, punching with strutting style. And then this is running with depressed style. And what we want to obtain is running with strutting style. So the previous work problem is that actually what we expect is only style of the source motion should be transferred, right? But the actual model, the previous actual model, they sometimes still transfer unexpected thing or unexpected content, unexpected action from the source style. And then a style doesn't mean any predetermined motion. It can be expressed with diverse movement. This means that a style, for example, angry style. Angry style can be expressed differently by different people. Can also be expressed differently from the same people but different action. For example, someone is angry while walking and someone is angry while kicking. The body can move differently there, right? So that's why this is also a problem. So here, our goal is to improve the previous work to cleaner style transfer. So here we kind of want to explicitly decompose the style from the target motion, from the source motion. So what we want to do here is like this. So for example, the target motion is kicking. This is from angry kick. And the source motion is childlike fast walk. So this person is doing walking, but in childlike style. So what we want to obtain is childlike kick. So we want to obtain this thing. So we have to build the model. And from this one is the model from the previous work. And the previous work from these two input result like this, produce this kind of result. You can see the fault here. So what we want is kicking, but there is this movement. It seems like the walking, the trajectory of the walk from this data is transferred here. So we don't want that kind of transfer happen. So because of that, we propose to do first in the training stage, we separate the style. Here the style in the context is context specific and habitual motion. Can be angry, happy, sad, and then strutting, proud, old, that kind of style. We want to separate the style only information from the input motion. And then we store that information, that style only information in the style memory bank. So here we use existing style transfer model, which already fully trained with their data, and then we do uh, and then we extract the style only information from here. So for example, here we have style 1 and style 2 with the same content. The content should be the same because we want to remove the content. And we will only retain the style 1, the difference between style 1 and style 2. And then this difference, we will store this difference into the memory bank. That is the training stage. And then the inference stage, in the inference step, we have memory bank already, right? We have already stored the decomposite style only information there. And so in the inference time, we extract the style feature from the input motion. So for example, here we have two style and content, style 1, content 1, style 2, content 2. And then we have a style reference here. We got the style 1 reference here. And then style 2, we have style 2. So we have to obtain the difference between style 2 and style 1, the statistical difference between the style 2 and style 1, and then put our style, our extracted style into the content 2. So that's why the content 2, as you see here, style 2 and style 2 will be discarded. So style 1 and style 1 will be remain. So we will generate this style 1 and content in the content 2. So ours have better result than the previous method for the realistic generation and also for the content recognition. But for the style recognition, ours is still cannot really obtain the best result because I think we need to obtain the model. We have to train the model for the evaluation more than this one. So we can see the example here. So for example here we have B1. The data is this. The source style is angry kicking and the target content is proud running. We want to obtain angry running. So what happened here? So use for example angry kicking. This is angry style while kicking and this is proud style while running. So this is our result. Yeah, something like this. With lambda 1 with weight 1 for the second loss. Lambda 3. This is lambda 5. So yeah, something like this. In animation, this kind of data really needed because uh, we want to have varied many variation of animation, right? And this is the comparison between our result and the previous model. This is angry kicking, proud running. This is the input, and then the output from the previous model is like this. So the walking should be removed, but they cannot remove it. The kicking, I mean, the kicking should be removed, but they cannot really remove it, while ours can remove that kicking part. This is also another example, or punching, and then this is the previous model. The kicking part should be removed, but they cannot really remove that part, and ours can remove that part. But again, this work still have issue. That is, as you can see, we store the statistical difference of the style in memory bank. That means the memory bank will grow quadratically with respect to the number of styles, and its implementation is limited to the availability of style level data. That means if we have data without level, it will be really difficult to obtain the desired output. And then also, we kind of need the text of this action and the style. That means, but uh, you can imagine about the style. It is really hard to define the action or the style in one word or two word or just small sentence. So that means this natural language sometimes cannot accurately express the representational motion. So it made it difficult to obtain the desired result. So that's all my research sharing for today. Thank you. Any question?
Thank you, Dr. Ushrita, for the valuable presentation. So now we will open the floor for the short Q&A session. So if you have any question, you can just type them in the chat box. Now we will give it a few more seconds in case anyone like to ask a question. Okay, so if there are no question from the audience, I just like to ask a quick question. Dr. Ushita, do you facing
Yes.
any challenges? Because just now you are sharing about the motion separation, right? So can I know, do you facing any challenges? What if this happening in a clouded space?
In the what space?
Clouded
Sorry.
space or clouded environment.
Louder.
Yeah, clouded. That's
Oh,
mean there's
yes.
a lot of the people, right? How do you going to extract the samples?
Yeah, yeah. This style transfer, right?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Actually, here we did the extraction is like because there are already previous work in so many previous work in style transfer. So we train that model first with the same dataset as ours, and then we put uh, two different two different style with the same content to that same model. So we will obtain two different things. I mean, two different things means something like this. So from these two things, we will obtain style one with content two from the second sample. But actually the content two from the second sample uh, is the same as this one, right? This is the second sample. That's why we we discard that content. So that's why we can extract the exact only style because this model will produce this exact content only. Because as we see, this previous model issue is that the content from the first sample cannot uh, cannot be really discarded. So that's why we ignore that part and then we move on to the content from the second sample. That's what we want to discard here. So here the style will be remain. When the same content is transferred here, then that kind of problem might not happen, right? Uh, so that's why we can discard the same text, that exact same content. So we can extract the style difference. So what we extract is not actually one style, but two style. So we have the information of two style. But the thing is that this is clean style, only style, not involve any kind of content. So that's why we can extract that style. While the challenge here is that, when we do that, that means we have only the pair of the existing style. So it depends on what style, how many style we have. If we have limited style, that means we only have limited memory bank here. We only have that exact same style number. So we cannot transfer with really unique or never seen style. So that is our challenge. And the second challenge is that, as you can see, we literally store each pair of that style. That means the weight, the size of the memory bank will be bigger if we have more data. And in current deep learning or machine learning method, that kind of big size should be reduced. So that is our challenge. We have to challenge there. Thank you for the question. Keep answering your question already.
Yeah, there is one more question from Mr. No Fikri. Is
Yeah.
asking about, can this method implemented on 3D animation, and is it your model already used in industry?
Okay. So actually, 3D animation. Here I show you the in my presentation. I show you the result of that moving thing, right? So what this 3D animation is actually only the skin. So from that data, you can install the skin. So it can be implemented in 3D animation. Yes, it can. But for my model, my current model, uh, we haven't implement it in the industry for now because we still have that issue of the size. So we have to reduce the size first so that we can do that in the industry, implement that in the industry. Thank you.
And there is due to the time constraint, there is one more question will be discussed. There's another audience asking about what role do architectures like autoencoders or GAN plays in this motion decomposition?
In the style transfer one or the in the
Yeah.
style transfer? Oh yeah.
Yeah. So Uziwa Singh, do you asking about this motion style transfer?
Okay, I will just answer about this one. So in the motion style transfer, actually, specifically, the model is uh, used as in the motion style transfer model. So this is really similar to autoencoder, but a little bit different. So in the autoencoder, we have encoder and decoder. In this part also, we have encoder and decoder. But here the difference is that we have two encoder and one decoder. So you can see here, this is encoder and this is also encoder and this is decoder. Why we need two encoder here? Because the first encoder, EF, we need to extract the target motion. We need to extract only the content, and for the second one, we need to extract only the style. Uh, that's why we need two encoder in the motion style transfer and one decoder because by utilizing only one decoder, we can combine these two information. How we combine that two information? This we use the PP style. This PP style net is kind of like AdaNet. In AdaNet, we combine these two information, these two feature. For this style, we need the information from each layer because style information is really small, right? So we need that all size of the feature here for the style. While for the content, by the end of our encoder, our encoder already can obtain the only the content here. So that's why we only need the last feature map from the content encoder, but we need all layer of style from the style encoder, and then we combine it in each layer of the decoder. This one, autoencoder. I think the first one, the recognition, I already explained about my architecture. That is a feature pyramid network. This one, feature pyramid network. Feature pyramid network is only encoder part. Is it clear enough? Is there any more question?
So thank you so much, Dr. Uspita, for your explanation. We really appreciate it. And now we shall proceed to our next session. Okay, we are pleased to have our Prof. Shivendo Dubey with us now. He will be presenting on transforming healthcare through AI and machine learning for sustainable well-being. Prof. Shivandu, the floor is yours. Thank you.
My voice is audible?
Yes, we can hear you, Prof.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to apologize for late joining due to some technical issues with my system. And my presentation is basically a starter because as per my information, I have to deliver my presentation at the start. So it is more generalized than rather than presenting my work. So I'm going to start it, and are you able to view my screen?
Hi,
My
Prof.
screen is visible.
Shivdu. I think the slide is not in the full form. Yeah, now it's possible.
Yeah, thank you. So today I am going to deliver or share my knowledge, which is more generalized rather than representing my any research work or my paper. It is entitled Transforming Healthcare Through AI and Machine Learning for Sustainable Well-being. When one of the coordinator of this program, Professor Pakhar Gautam, is interacted with me, so I am delighted to represent my college as well as India. So first of all, I want to go through what are the global goals for sustainable development. In 2015, United Nations provides a shared blueprint for peace and prosperity for people and the planet now and into the near future. They have decided 17 sustainable development goals, which are an urge call for action by developed as well as developing countries in a global partnership. They recognize the ending poverty and other deprivation must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health, education, reduce inequality, economical growth, and while tackling climate change and preserve our environment. So, as per today's theme, we are going on SOG number 3, which is based on good health and well-being. And as a Indian citizen, I am very happy that I belong to a country which always uh, believe in knowledge sharing and which is a land of wisdom, prosperity, peace, and knowledge exchange. We around 4,500 to 5,000 years ago, Vedas and Upanishads are written in India, and they based on the theme Vasudev Kutumbakam, which means we uh, consider the whole world as one family. It is the motto or the objective of our foundation. Similarly, another Sanskrit phrase used very commonly in India, Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya, which means for the wealth of many and for the happiness of the many, means we try to conduct and act in the benefit of not only for Indian people but for the whole world. In the healthcare, if I can go on the ancient history, we contribute a lot. The father of surgery, known as Acharya Shushruta, was write Shushruta Samhita in 600 BC. The father of medicine and Ayurveda, Charak, who have written Charak Samhita around 300 BC. Nowadays, very popular in the world, yoga. Then Patanjali, Maharishi Patanjali, who is recognized as father of yoga and naturopathy, was in India in 220 BC. And meditation is available in India even before Shushruta, Charak, and Patanjali can contribute. These knowledge can actually reach to Southeastern Asian countries around 200 to 150 BC, at the time of when the great king Ashoka is ruling in India, and he started to exchange the knowledge, trade, and so many things with Southeastern Asian countries. So it is motivated me to choose this particular topic. Now, why this partnership or exchange of knowledge is necessary for India, Malaysia, and Indonesia? I just want to seek your kind attention to uh, go through these facts. That currently India is the fifth economy in world. Malaysia is in 34th position, and Indonesia in 17th position right now. Population wise, India is around 1.5 billion people. Malaysia has 36 million, and Indonesia is 287 million people. The median age of these countries is around 30 years, and 40% of Indian population is urban population, while in Malaysia and Indonesia, these are 75 and 60% respectively. The most common thing about these three countries is these three countries are very diverse and very rich in their cultural heritage, and the 40 to 42% population of what 15 to 40 years age during 2030 to 2060 is available in these countries. It is not only uh, beneficial for us, but it is also beneficial for whole world. Here I have used one term, CIMIC. It is most popular term which is used by the so many world-class economists that the 21st century or mid of 21st century is belong to Southeastern Asia, where in sim with C represent China, I represent India, I am represent Malaysia, we stands for Vietnam, I stands for Indonesia, and T stands for Taiwan. Luckily, we have three nations, India, Malaysia, and Indonesia, who are conducting this knowledge exchange session.
Excuse me, sir, you're muted.
My voice is not audible now.
Yes, sir. Now it is audible.
And you are able to view my screen.
Yes, sir. Now it is.
So the
Excuse me, sir. Can you click hide? Can you click hide button beside stop sharing button, the blue one? So the text is not covered the presentation. Below your
hello,
screen.
shall I
Can you hear
continue?
me? I'm sorry.
Yes, we
Can you
can hear
click
you.
the
Actually, I
hide
can
button?
hear you from here. Actually, we can see the slide.
Okay. If anybody have any query, please at the end of my presentation, please feel free to ask. So today's journey is basically started with the healthcare crisis, then AI and machine learning fundamentals, then clinical applications, the real world impact of these things, how we can work with the remote healthcare, and challenges and ethics follows during this work, and then the roadmap for future work. Now, if I am looking to the global health crisis, by globally 2030, we have around 2.5 million number of shortage of medical practitioners or doctors. Around 2 billion people lack access to basic health care. 70%, but the positive thing is that 70% diseases are preventable if they are detected early. And the budget in health sector is around $8.3 trillion. So to fulfill these gaps, AI and machine learning can provide better solution. Now, what is AI? Actually, we have always invented machines to reduce our human efforts. When computer was invented, they are again with the same thought, but since it is a device which works on logics, so our expectation is more from the computational device. So we try to make them that they can predict or make better decisions than us. From here, the concept of artificial intelligence arises with some of the scientists like J.M. Turing, who given the concept of Turing machine, and McCarthy, who is given the concept of machine learning. So what is the great thing about the human beings is that if they cannot know prior known or trained for something, but our brain is designed by the God in such a manner that we can be able and we can try to find some solutions for it, even though we are not prior known or prior trained about this, because we have an extra thing in our mind, which is called artificial intelligence. So inspired from human brains, we try to make such machines which can behave like a human being, and more than that, they can predict results or make decisions without any intervention of human beings. In traditional programs, what we can do, we can give input, perform process, and definitely take the desired output. So we may want to measure performance. The next thing which arises is machine learning. Machine learning is a subset, or we can say a branch originated from artificial intelligence, where we try to train the machine so it can behave like human beings. Means it can, uh, here we can try to put or give some kind of experience to the system or machine so it can behave like human beings and try to predict or try to classify something. Then we further move to the deep learning, which is again a subset branch of machine learning, which is a combination of machine learning as well as artificial neural network and large language model, where training uh, will be conducted more rather than machine learning. Machine learning mainly classify in three categories. There are three types of models or algorithms used in machine learning: supervised machine learning, unsupervised machine learning, and semi-supervised, or it is also known as sometimes reinforcement learning. We are very familiar, or we are used to with the concept of supervised machine learning, where we can train the machine first with the help of some data as well as labeled data, which are also be designated as the targeted output. Then we extract feature from them, and then we train with some machine learning model there with some portion of data. Normally, it cannot be considered as less than two-thirds or 66%. Normally, 70% is a good amount of data to be used in training the models. And after training, we can again repeat the such process by testing and evaluating the model and measure whether the model predict the correct results or not, or model classify the correct results or not. Unsupervised machine learning is a way where we cannot give any training to the machine. We just provide raw data, and machine can extract feature from it. Machine can apply algorithm according to that and make some kind of predictions or grouping or clustering on the basis of that. Semi-supervised machine learning is what is similar as our upbringing. Like that, in every stage we are learning something. We learning from our mistakes. Sometimes we are successful. Sometimes we are failed. So each success or failure can contribute in our learning. So just like that, it can based on some actions, and actions can take change the states, whether they can receive some kind of rewards or penalties, and from environment we can learn, and the next successive phase is repeated for the same. So that's the way how the semi-supervised machine learning or the reinforcement learning models can be trained. So as simple in traditional supervised machine learning model, if I want to use machine learning in healthcare, then again, the most simplest way is uh, depicted in this particular slide. The first thing which I have to do is I have to collect the data. Then after collecting the data, I have to pre-process that particular data. Means I have to clean that particular data, normalize it, reduce dimensionality. Means I have to choose or select the features which can be more important and contribute more in the uh, prediction of results. So I have to perform data pre-processing. Then I can select supervised or deep learning algorithm to for training the model. And finally, when my model is trained, then I can validate it or test it. Then various accuracy metrics are available like accuracy, precision, F1 score, etc. And finally, when we satisfy that our model is performing well enough, then we try to deploy it in the real world. There are some real applications which are very popular in healthcare using machine learning today. Uh, Clinical decision supports, brain tumor segmentation, then pathogen identification, cancer genome, that doses optimization, readmission prediction, fall detection, etc. So modern healthcare influenced by AI ML very well nowadays. The machine learning it can use to predict, classify, and recommend the pathway by providing the algorithm which can be applied on the patient data. Deep learning, again, it is a combination of machine learning as well as artificial neural network, which is used to analyze the data available in the form of images, signals to analyze the medical condition of patient. Then if I want to make some decision on the basis of clinical notes, medical records, then I have to use the algorithm based on NLP. Now, if I want to work again on the basis of X-ray images, MRI, CT scans, and computer vision algorithms are there, then finally we can make predictive analytics by using tools to predict the level of disease or the patient condition. And another uh, area is IoT and wearables, which help us to make or record these things regularly or frequently by using wearable devices. So clinical applications of AI in healthcare are the medical imaging, where we can use mammographs for cancer detections, X-ray for chest analysis, pathology slides. For drug discovery, we use AlphaFold, solve protein folding, ML. Machine learning algorithms can reduce the drug trial time from 14 years to 4 years. Then genomic, through genomic, we can personalize the medicine and its doses. Genomics and precision medicines, again, through gene mutation analysis, we can identify the targeted therapies. AI predictions can make the heredity risk minimum. Then we again plan of disease according to the condition of individual patients. And again, the last one is the hospital operations. So it will help to manage as well as to reduce the haphazard of hospital operations. AI diagnose contribute how much nowadays, which is indicated by this particular slide, that Google AI is improved the diabetic retinopathy detection in early stages by 94%. Faster MI scan and AI assistants can improve to identify the problems 11 times more than the normal ways. And again, the machine learning and AI tools can make 89% more sensitivity to detect breast cancer. So it can not possible that in the remote areas, each people can reach to the doctor or the hospital with eminent medical facilities. So nowadays, the AI can powered with telemedicine facility where the patient can communicate with experts and doctors. They can consult from any remote area about their health issues. So smart wearables like mobiles and various devices through which we can monitor our heart rate, pulse rate, oxygen level, glucose level, etc. Then some chatbot applications which can provide some guidance to the patients. Then in rural and remote area by uh, teleconferencing, by consulting, the people can access the best medical facilities. And the most wonderful thing about the using the technology is that we can be able to use health assistance 24 cross 7. So sustainable development goal target 3 is belonging to healthy life and promoting well-being for all. It is not only for physical health but mental health as well. So its first target is to reduce mental mortality and preventive newborn deaths and communicable disease, reduce non-communicable disease, universal health coverage, and strengthen health security. But the advance and use of AI and machine learning can also have some major issues along with the facility that when we use such technology, we must have to uh, prevent or may take precautions about data privacy and security because patient data is very sensitive. Then the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of USA and General Data Protection Regulation of European Union can also guarantee that we have to protect the patient data. Then again, machine learning models have suffered from bias. So we must have to take care of that the model can train with proper bias. So it can predict the correct result. Then further, the obtained results must be explainable. So the more latest branch, explainable AI, is also used there. Lime and shape are the tools which are very beneficial in this area. Then finally, the Food and Drug Administration and of USA and community from European Union must approve these kind of practices which can be uh, possible using machine learning and AI. So the roadmap ahead for the future AI, the year 2025, where we have decided the standards for AI-based diagnostics. Then year 27 is a target where we can be able to make AI customized treatment plans based on genomes for every individual patients. Then by year 2030, we can be able to produce affordable AI-powered primary cares throughout the rural as well as remote areas. Then by 2035, we are able to predict or early detect all the diseases uh, so we can prevent and uh, those diseases at the earliest stage. Here, I cannot say that it is true that AI will not replace doctor. AI cannot be a doctor, but it will assist doctor to make better decisions, so the people can get benefits from that. So finally, the key takes away from this particular presentation is that AI and machine learning are used in healthcare for transforming the healthcare from reactive to predictive and preventive. Clinical AI achieves the nearby human being accuracy in imaging, genomics, and diagnostics. Telemedicine, along with AI, can use to reach to the most of the people in remote areas or the peoples which are unable to access the costly medical facilities. Ethical AI can help to preserve and protect the data from any misuse. It can guarantee of privacy. And finally, we can say that AI can directly accelerate the Sustainable Development Goal 3, which is related to health and mental health for their well-beings. So the future of AI and healthcare will required not in 2030 or not in 2035 and so on. It is required immediately because it can contribute to make very good decisions to for the early detection of diseases, to generate preventive medicines, to prepare personalized treatment plans, etc. And if time will permit, I want to represent one more thing, which is developed by one of my colleagues and some of my fellows during the COVID time, where half was hazard was everywhere. So we try to develop a model with use of supervised machine learning model, where limited data related to chest X-rays are available. So we collected from net and we the volume of that particular chest X-rays are very low, so we can replicate it, and by applying some augmentation, we try to generate more image-based data sets. Then we perform the pre-processing of data by data annotation by using resizing, normalization, and contrast enhancement. Then data augmentation by rotating, flipping, zooming, brightness adjustment like operations. And these finally annotated and augmented data is used is divided in three sections: 70% for training the model, and for 15% each for testing and validation of the model. The initially a model was trained by deep learning with the use of Inception model version 3, 5, and 7, and we can be able to develop a model at that time, and on the basis of that we can perform validate its performance, and we find output class whether uh, on the basis of X-ray, it can predict whether the person is suffering from normal pneumonia or is not suffering, or it can suffering from COVID on the basis of CT score. So it can again advise whether they can be take medicines from home and maybe recover from home quarantine if their CT score is below 5, or if the CT score is more than 5, then they can be uh, immediately contact with the hospital. So this is a simple machine learning model, but how at the time of pandemic, how more people can benefit it from it. So what we can do, we can deploy this particular model in a cloud platform and design an app which can be accessible through the mobile as well as from the laptops. So simply by putting on access, joining that particular app, there is an interface through which anybody can submit their X-ray image from there, and this particular X-ray image goes to this particular model, and model can extract feature from that and then provide the result in which particular class they belongs or what they people have to do. So the end users which can use just by with the help of mobile app or any uh, computer or laptop by just supplying X-ray image to it. They can just putting their X-ray image or providing their data and all the things, feature extraction, then their results can available to them. So they only provide data. So we created a model based on supervised learning, but from end user point of view, they can just supply the X-ray image and find the result. So the model works as unsupervised machine learning model from end user point of view. Nowadays, more advanced machine learning models and deep learning models are there. There are various transformation models are there. So what we try to do, we collect feedback from the end users, then also real-time images from the end users, and try to reposit it in data set and retrain our model so it can generate more accuracy and produce more better results. So when it works like that, it can fall in the category of semi-supervised machine learning model. So this is the way how I can understand the supervised, semi-supervised, and machine learning and unsupervised machine learning model. Nowadays, I can working on a hybrid machine model which can combine all these three types of machine learning. So that's all from my side. If anybody have any query or question, so they may ask. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Prof. Shivandu, for the insightful sharing. So now we will open the floor for the short Q&A session. If you have any question, you can paste them in the chat box now. Yeah, we have a question from the audience. Thank you for the question. Are there any difficulties in implementing AI in hospital, for example, in terms of infrastructure and doctors' trust in AI? So may I invite Prof. Shivandu to respond?
Yeah, very good question. Actually, we can use engineering and technology and medical profession in different prospects. Now, so to fulfill the gap, it is very much a requirement of the current time. So there is nothing is nothing is there is no difficulty to implement AI and machine learning in hospital operations or we can say if in the prediction of disease or some kind of I can say the preparation of diagnostic chart of patients because technology is very cheap nowadays. Most of the machine learning models and data sets are available on free since these are open source. So I don't think so that it is very difficult to implement those things in hospital. Nowadays, all the companies which are working on X-ray technology, MRI, CT scan, they are very frequently using machine learning algorithms for prediction of their diseases. Even though some hospitals, those are having already using these facilities which are not based on the AI and machine learning models. So they can just by using some machines having the good amount of RAM and good processing power, just investing the cost of 2 to 3 lakhs to utilize machine learning model when
Yeah, Prof. Shinandu, are you with us now? Prof. Shinandu, can you hear me? Prof. Shivandu? So I believe there's a light interruption. For the time being, maybe we give Prof. Shivandu another moment. Thank you for your patience. Yeah.
Just you mute, Mr. Sorry.
Hi, Dr. Yap. Can we proceed to the next speaker?
Okay, Dr. Suman. So now we shall proceed with the next speaker, Dr. Adishina from Multimedia University. He will be presenting on telemedicine for remote healthcare access. So that Dr. Adishina, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shraddha. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can hear me clearly. I've been able to share my screen. I hope you can see my screen as well, Doctor.
Yes, Dr.
Okay.
Additional.
Thank you so much.
Are you full screen ready? Full contact?
Yes, it's full screen right now. Is it clear from your end? That's full screen?
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everyone. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol to have my sharing this afternoon. My name is Additional. For a couple of years, I've been concentrating on how to create a software that is good enough for disease diagnosis, therapy, and management. Over the years, I've been trying all my best to see how I can reduce algorithm complexities, particularly in medicals. With this, we have a very strong hope of creating something we call a telemedicine system, which will be resourceful in having a remote healthcare access. So today, I'll be presenting to you telemedicine for remote healthcare access. Telemedicine for remote access. When we look at this, it is the possibility of utilizing digital technologies to provide healthcare services remotely, to enhance accessibility, to have a very great conveniences and efficiency in patient care. With this, our target is to ensure we have opportunity to have everything possible in making things easier for everyone in terms of healthcare. Anywhere they are, we have the hope of ensuring they have access. This access definitely will be with the network. We're looking forward to see how the nurses, the emergency teams, the patients, the doctors, specialists from every nook and cranny within the globe, the world, could connect and resolve issues, thereby having a better consultations, giving great opportunity for assessment in terms of health, better diagnosis faster, and the treatment as well. So we're looking forward to see how possible we can have disease diagnosis, therapy, and management within the architecture of a system. There are quite a number of benefits of telemedicine. Increased accessibility. Patients can conduct easily because there are so many areas up to this level. They have the challenges of being given straight and direct access to healthcare. Cost effectiveness. Even if they have the possibilities, they have the availability, they have the all measures to get this medical treatment achieved. What about the cost? So one of the objectives of telemedicine is to see how possible we can have cost effectiveness, convenience. Sometimes patients that has everything possible to get particular healthcare at the right time may have challenges because perhaps the time duration for him or her to sustain his life or her life, it's a difficult scenario. So convenience will really assist in this regard. Continuous care. Sometimes we have some patients with chronic illness that actually needs continuous and ongoing monitoring. With telemedicine, such is very possible. Yes, telemedicine is quite good when you look at what I just introduced. What about the key component to have telemedicine? Synchronous communication is significant. When there's no well-established communication, it's definitely impossible to really achieve what we're referring to as telemedicine. asynchronous communication, when there's exchange of medical information, images, or test results for later review. Because a lot of information needs to be obtained at the fingertip of doctors, and they have to handle this as soon as possible. Remote patient monitoring, like I said, it's so important for us to be able to continuously monitor patients in remote locations without a need to bring them down to the source of the healthcare. Mobile health is also very important. So all these are very significant when we are looking into telemedicine. If we truly have the opportunities to have telemedicine, and then we look carefully and we see it so useful in this our contemporary environment, the significant challenges facing telemedicine are also very important. By this, we talk about the regulatory issues. There are licenses that has to be put in place before we can clearly work on telemedicine. We need to talk about technology access as well.
Technology.
Very significant. It's so important to look at technological access, disparities in access of technology, data literacy. All these are very vital when we are looking into telemedicine. Patient-provider relationship. This is a shift in terms of remote care to impact traditional, dynamic, and patient-provider interactions. May I now share with you my contribution so far in the couple of 12, 13 years on telemedicine. The aim is to ensure we have something we call fully functioning telemedicine system. So my target for the couple of 12, 13 years has been to see how I can come up with a fully functioning telemedicine system that has the greater capability for disease detection, localization of disease, thorough analysis, and diagnosis. This started from 2011 to date. One of the elements considered as a core challenging factor in the disease that we've been saying is brain tumor. One of my targets in the couple of years back up to this moment is to see how to make brain tumor an issue of the past. Hepatocellular carcinoma, which is a liver cancer as well. How to integrate this into such fully functioning system. What about stroke? Parkinson's disease. These are a list of diseases that have been actually been able to achieve so far with my ongoing fully functioning system for telemedicine. Also, importantly, how to have all these achieved very fast. Fast processing capability, especially for remote access, is very important. So I've been able to work carefully and greatly on how to have a very competent resources that can make things very fast. And that's where I have to dwell into something we call high-performance computing algorithms. These are very resourceful algorithms. They can process as fast as possible. Because in medical, we need something very fast. Within a twinkle of an eye. CUDA, Compute Unified Device Architecture, is one of the technology as well, which I've been able to leverage in this regard. Disease prediction with revolutionary tools. We have the AI moving on now. So there are chances of being able to predict diseases with AI, which I've also been able to inculcate into my research. Securing network for remote access. This is one of the challenges, stopping a lot of enterprises, a lot of hospitals, giant firms that are related to health-related activities, stopping them from going into remote access with telemedicine because they want it to be secure. Patients are also looking forward to have a secured environment. So as far as I'm concerned, I've taken this to be a priority to see how possible to ensure I have a fully secured network for such my ongoing system. Through cryptographic techniques, hybrid secure solutions, and to make sure everything is intact from end to end without any fear of any challenges. I'm still working on few other diseases apart from brain tumor, hepatocellular carcinoma, stroke, and Parkinson's disease. These are still ongoing. We are still open to have possibility of including, of integrating some of these possible diseases for potential diagnosis, therapy management in the future. Yeah, now introduce you to what we are referring to when we are talking about brain tumor. These are some of the images of brain tumor. When you look at the normal image, it looks normal when you look at it. Basically, in the clinical environment, we call some images 2D, two-dimensional. So what we do is to find a way to have these 2D dimensionals integrated into 3-dimensional. These 3-dimensional, they are very useful because with 3-dimensional, we have 3 axes. We have X, Y, and Z axis, which means you have the opportunity to not only see the front and the back of such image, but you can see the inside of the image, which we refer to as the Z axis. So with the 2D, when you take a normal picture, a normal photograph is 2D. When we have it integrated, we can create and reconstruct it into a 3D. This 3D are so useful because be able to see the internal structure of the organ clearly. With the 2D images that you have on the screen, you have the normal, you have the glioma, meningioma, metastasis. These are possible tumor that we could have. Unfortunately, the average mortality rate, as far as the record from the Oxford Academy, is 4.41% out of 100,000 population are actually into mortality rate. And this is accounting to about 17,637 deaths per year. This is a record up till 2025 from neuro-oncology. So it is so important for us to see how possible we can bring this to an end with ease of technology, having everyone on board to ensure we have a better environment, which we usually refer to as a global community. We also have penetrating head trauma, which is also a great challenge. Wonderstrom, it's a great challenge. And according to a lot of studies, this is also a way, there's always a way researchers are looking forward to see how we can do the diagnosis as fast as possible. With the latest technology, we should be able to do the diagnosis, therapy, and the management as soon as possible. Stroke is also one of the challenging diseases that we have. Every 21 seconds, someone in the US suffers traumatic brain injury. This is according to Centers for Disease Control and Prevention as far as 2024 release is concerned. So which means even in the United States, stroke treatments, access to healthcare by the citizens through resolution on stroke challenges is also a factor to be considered. What about liver? We have challenges with liver cancer, which grows from different stages until cirrhosis, hepatocellular carcinoma. These are challenges which we have, and we're looking forward to see how we can bring healthcare down to this doorstep of each and every woman on the surface of the earth. So the best way to have this at a reduced cost is to go through something we call telemedicine. And of course, like I mentioned to you, there are so many challenges which we have to look into, consider carefully when we are trying to develop what we call telemedicine system. Over the years, I've been able to collaborate with Computer-Assisted Surgery and Imaging Laboratory, United States. For a researcher in computer science and information technology, we need to work with people in the medical society, the medics, the experts, so that we'll be able to analyze the results obtained and see either we are actually going in the good direction or we need to make some adjustments. So with this collaboration, with this particular Department of Surgery, University of North Carolina, I was able to have quite extensive analysis of the results. The data sets were actually raw data sets from volunteer patients. data set was tested, validated, and proof worthy for research by the United States. So, which means we rely on the clear practical analysis of such results in the fully determining the output of our ongoing system. It's a long way. We have been trying to develop so many things that can accommodate all what we are talking about. We've been able to develop fully, we started from scratch, actually, developing the fully functioning algorithms that can be integrated together to ensure we have all what we need, including rendering, including graphic processing and execution, including conversion schemes within the element, because basically we have different forms of data sets. These data sets could be in any form, could be DICON, could be any particular format. We should be able to connect into our system automatically and be able to do the procedure accordingly. So we have quite a lot of feature and edge detection scheme as well to be able to map corresponding elements to identify units within the element. Basically, for medicals, every part of our body are connected. The connections could be mapped by a programmer into a particular instinct to be able to map each of the features, extract them, and then make them available for use. So this is what we actually have together. This is purely based on generic multidimensional approach, aligning what the medics actually need, what the medics required to ensure they have a better and convenient and reliable results. Apart from that, so far, we've been able to record quality image, which is exceptionally considered because it has it was achieved without any prior segmentation. So far, we have a lot of hope that we'll be able to have something meaningful with this. This is some of the outputs that we could see. You can see this is already in 3D. You can see the image, this is already 3D. The 2D are the images that you can see in the phase 1, data preprocessing. These are 2D images. And then our system is competent enough, effectively enough to have them into 3D within a couple of time. So the basic interface of the ongoing system is this. For the interface, we have the 2D, that's why you can see the 2D. And then we have the 3D. This 3D has been mapped actually. This is a patient with brain tumor. So you can see the symptoms there. You can see ordinarily for a patient for a doctor to look into the 2D might be so challenging because it has a lot of unclear circumstances surrounding the features. But through our system, we're able to reconstruct the 2D into an obvious 3D, having opacity clarified. The classification is well integrated within the system, and this was even achieved within a single file. So we were able to compare some of the data set that we have, because like I said, we were able to get a quite numerous data sets from patients that volunteer from the University of North Carolina that we should use their data set, we should use their images, 3D, 2D images, MRI and CT data sets for research. So we're able to compare some of these. We, in computer science and information technology, we really rely on explanation from the medics. So we have to work in line together to ensure we have what is satisfactory. So we have the abnormal patient. You can see the patient of a female of 31 years. You can see the differences. This is seen to be abnormal. And look at the circumstance of a normal patient. So with this, we can not only rely on our own usual visual circumstance to judge. So we rely on the medics to give the verdict on this. But for our own part, as someone in computer science and IT, we developed the algorithm, and we're lucky enough to have the algorithm to reconstruct all the 2Ds to make the work easier for the medics, and then to be able to highlight, to pinpoint some of the features which might be useful to enhance the features for the medics to be able to read a very beautiful meaning within a time frame of very seconds, actually. So also we try quite a number of images, which because of time, I may not be able to show a lot. We have over 100 images of patients, which is tried, and some of these are actually published in papers in our journals. So these are some of the things you can have a look on the looking at the tumors, look at the features. We're able to reveal this through our system. Like I said, it was extraordinary. We tried this with ordinary CPU, and then we have 10.43 seconds for an integrated 2D images of 176. So the system was quite efficient, even with CPU, ordinary CPU of 3 GB. However, when we try with CUDA, integrated application, we're able to have very, very less in this processing capability, which means we have a lot of hope in terms of processing, because these are the challenges. When we discuss with the medics, one of their concerns is the speed, because the brain is quite heavy. It contains a lot of things. It might be challenging for us to actually render the brain within a twinkle of eye. It might be difficult for us to reconstruct the 2D images within a twinkle of eye to achieve the best. So they are comfortable seeing this, and then we have a stronger hope that the intention, the aim of having a fully functioning telemedicine system is coming to reality. We're able to publish this in papers. We're able to have this included in PubMed, National Library of Medicine, and this is integrated, also abstracted, indexed in Scopus, SCIE, Simago. It's there. You may have the opportunity to read through some of this. This work started as far back as 2011. And then we're able to have the first one that we laid our hand on is locating abnormalities in brain blood vessels. We're able to locate the brain tumors in these blood vessels, revealing the features within a twinkle of eye. And one of the greatest things that we achieved this in a very short time. Of course, we leverage CUDA, Compute Unified Device Architecture, to augment the efficiency of our usual technique, the raycasting technique that we use. But nevertheless, it was a very beautiful result, and then it was included in PubMed, National Library of Medicine. It was published by Springer, and we can also have a look later on at our own time. Furthermore, apart from locating the abnormality in blood vessels, we have been able to try our system to see if it's able to have multimodal reconstruction, not only for targeting tumor alone, but it can also target other diseases simultaneously. And it was able to be successful through different MRI functionalities. We try with different MRI solutions, DTI, data tension imaging. We tried with TI MPRH, so many of these data sets, about 109. And then we also work with Sweden National Infrastructure for Computing to see, if possible, not only relying on the data set from the University of North Carolina, but what about also obtaining from other sources and still see if our intended system can achieve the best. So we tried that, and it was successful as well. We were able to have the system good enough to reveal the structure of the system within a very twinkle of eye. We also make efforts with liver tumor. Like I said, we look into how possible we can localize tumor, okay, in the liver, cirrhosis, okay, because the stages of liver issues started slowly until it gets to a stage where it's so difficult to handle. So we hope if we can have a kind of a fully functioning telemedicine system that is sufficient enough to detect this earlier enough and be able to localize the tumor within the system, it will be useful for medics on time. And this diagnosis, therapy, and the management could be achieved as well. We're able to achieve this as well and we're able to publish this also in paper. We leverage CUDA with this. Because, like I said, some of the challenges medics mentioned clearly is the speed, processing capability. You see, these days, everyone is looking forward to see what is so easy. How can you get this at the tip of their finger within a twinkle of an eye? So we're able to leverage this. How do we leverage CUDA? CUDA itself, we call it GPU computing, is a field on its own, which we have to see how to program the GPU itself. To reprogram the GPU to be able to accept such data set and reprocess and process within a shorter time. So it is an algorithm on its own, which is fully functioning in our system to cater for this part of activity. So we were able to publish also in Springer as well, and this was also included in PubMed. Kaheka, we named the segment of the algorithm Kaheka, computer-aided hepatocellular carcinoma therapy planning, which was seemed to be clear enough, good enough, and it's able to achieve what we're actually looking for. Given the output, and this was ascertained, which was confirmed by the medics. So we have a greater hope that hopefully our system is able to achieve not only the brain tumor, not only multimodal images of different diseases, of different health centers, but can also accommodate and analyze hepatocellular carcinoma for necessary therapy planning. This also abstracted in Simango Scopus and also in SCIE. We went further to connect with accelerated approach for brain structural connectivity. This we use Dieudonné triangulation. This is an idea of Dieudonné, which uses triangulation idea in the mapping of the algorithm. So we use this to ensure we have what is possible to use in the stroke analysis. So stroke, which is cardiovascular disease with a high mortality and long-term disability in the world, was also handled through a segment of our algorithm. So which means we'll see the growth of such system. The aim, like I said, is to target a possible angle to which our system will be good enough to be able to handle multiple diseases, analyze them, and they could be achieved within a couple of time without any delay, with great accuracy. We're also able to look into it because we look at it becoming so challenging. Definitely, we've been able to confirm that our system is sufficient enough to handle multiple images. Multiple diseases, data sets can be handled successfully. It also has the capacity and capability to analyze such image within a twinkle of an eye. It also has capability to handle multi-data sets from different sources. Now we want to see, is it possible to have a secured environment? Because this is very challenging. A lot of patients, virtually every one of the patients that I talk to, they are more concerned about the security of their healthcare. Apart from that, it is confidential, some of these data sets. So we want to see how possible we can have an environment that can secure some of this area through what we refer to as connected health network. So we leverage high performance computing as well. And then we have it with integrated security features. We have AES, accelerated AES together with it. And it was meaningfully enough, and it was seen to be a contributing factor in the ongoing system. So the system also, this particular paper is also published, and it's also in Springer. It's also abstracted in an index in Simango, Scopus, SCIE, and then it is fully functioning. Right now, we're looking forward to see how we can add more. This is the idea, to see how the telemedicine could come into play. From the hospital clinical, having it well integrated, secured, fast, available for use, almost instantly, stored carefully, perfectly, securely in a database. So this is the idea of the ongoing system. And this, we believe, as long as they are well encrypted, it should be able to be communicated over the network without any challenges. We went further to Parkinson's disease. Parkinson, it's one of the great challenges in medics up to today. In fact, so far, according to WHO, there's no cure for Parkinson's disease. It causes problems with movements. You see, sometimes serious pains, sometimes causes other health issues, the brain condition, mental health problems, sleep problem. So it's a great problem. And for the fact that there's no cure for Parkinson's disease, it calls for greater attention. So we're able to have a very good system that can map this together. So within our system, we have this clearly covered. So our ongoing telemedicine system, which is expected to be fully functioning, also is able to handle Parkinson's disease, diagnosis, therapy, and management. So these are some of the things that we are actually looking forward to do. It is a combination of so many frameworks. What I've said so far, despite the fact that we are still looking forward to see how we go further, we have covered so many frameworks, so many algorithms integrated to achieve this purpose. We've been able to look into prediction as well. Like I said, we are looking forward to see how AI can do some prediction for us. You can predict the disease of patients through telemedicine system. Doctors will have opportunity to predict. They will have opportunity to recommend. This is great opportunity. It's always a privilege if a patient have the information at hand that so time you're likely to have this disease. And this, if this can be done through a telemedicine system, it will be a favorable and very great opportunity. So we are looking forward to see this as well. Like I said, we are looking forward to have all this secured. They must be secured. Security is the priority. And that's why the focus must also be on security of the network to ensure we're looking forward to see something worthy, something fine. Because usually there's always a kind of give and take when it comes to having something achieved very fast and security. And that's why we have been able to achieve this prompt processing, analysis, deduction of the data sets in the system, but at the same time, we also look forward to see how such processes are streamlined, secured across the network. So it all started from data collection, model design, the algorithm, like I said, fully into algorithm, embedding the text, extracting the text, and then have a thorough evaluation of the system. We're able to publish also some of these outputs in Scopus, and this is actually there to see how possible we can do the security without jeopardizing the actual objective of our telemedicine system. We are also able to publish on safety in connected health network itself. We're able to use different model, detecting aid information in data using multi-layer perception deep learning model. And it was a very good output. So this actually adding more values to the greater intention of adding and introducing what we refer to as prediction into our system. Apart from the generic expected outcome of the system, the prediction is also what we are looking forward to see. We were able to see, we evaluated, we tried so many algorithms and see how possible this can be done. And it was very forthcoming. And then we hope in the future, the system will be fully integrated with AI, with all the features, and all could be achieved within a trickle effect. We're able to also publish this. We have a paper also on disease prediction machine learning framework using linear and logistic regression analysis. With this, we see which one is much better to be integrated into the system. Is it possible for our system to use the two together? Yes, we have evaluated this, and then we hope this has actually given us a lot of insight, particularly for Parkinson's disease, because Parkinson's disease is so challenging to handle. Some of the medics complain a lot that it's always a great challenge. In fact, that's why they declare it, there is no cure as this moment. Also, we look into different possibility with security in terms of measuring the fidelity of steganography approach to see if it's sufficient enough to ensure to give us the best security that we are looking for within the network. Because apparently when you have your data flying over the network, it becomes another challenge entirely. it becomes another challenge entirely. A standalone system is very easy to manage. But when it comes to a network, crossing over the network, we are talking about telemedicine, which can cut across countries. Because these days, experts we can have experts in Malaysia, and then we have patients far away from Malaysia. It's not impossible. It is not impossible to see how the patient could be there, and then our expertise in Malaysia who attend to them can treat them, which is the target of the what we're referring to as telemedicine. So we also published another paper, predictive model for healthcare software defect severity using both example learning and natural language processing. These are some of the things we are adding up into the system to ensure, in terms of security, in terms of availability of the data sets for use when it is needed within the system, for the purpose, for the exact results, for the intended targets are actually achieved. Now, we are focusing on how possible we can have all this resolved. We have a target to see possibility of having a fully functioning system, a telemedicine system that is reliable enough in terms of security, in terms of the actual task which we are leveraging on it, that is to be able to be good enough in medical diagnosis, disease therapy, and the management for as much as possible of listed diseases, like we have been able to achieve for brain tumor, we have been able to achieve for Parkinson's disease, we have been able to achieve for liver cirrhosis, we have been able to achieve for multimodal data sets. So we're looking forward to see how close are we and what are we actually expecting. So the expected characteristics for such system are interactive style. It must be very interactive. The data types is very important. Like I said, for our own system, we have to develop a data processing unit, which can convert some of the data sets in whatever format it may be into our usable format within the system. Equipment that are necessary for doctors to use and necessary action. Also, patient numbers. Like I said, if the capability of the system is not as good as expected, it will definitely bring down their processing capability if the number of patients are actually quite much. How long? This is very important. How long? So that is why we're actually leveraging high performance computing through the CUDA, Complete Unified Device Architecture, to ensure we have something worthy, something that we can achieve, we can rely on, and we can achieve within the Tinkoff Lab. So the interactive stack, the real world, synchronous, store and forward procedure, participants all active at the same time. So we want to see how possible we can leverage this. Is it possible for us to still have the interactivity within a couple of time? So this is what we're actually looking at to see how we can achieve. Data types, like I said, patient notes, diagnostics, or the image, the X-ray, the CT scans, MRI, the audio video signals need to be accommodated within the system. It's the big system that should be able to accommodate some of this. And that's why we have been able to have it in phases. This has been spanning from 2011 to date. And we have been verifying each of the outputs with medics published and ensure they are well satisfied before we move to the next stage. So in terms of the data set, the images that we have there, we're looking forward to see how possible it could accommodate all these data sets and process them for the intended use within the system. The equipment, general purpose, we want to make it because if you have a very expensive and very big system, it might be challenging for some users. See, the cost is also very important. If you look at some of our contributions, we are looking forward to see how possible we can reduce the cost to the barest minimum. So we're looking for algorithms that are less expensive. That's why the effort has been also on how to reduce the algorithmic complexities to ensure the strengths, the power of the algorithms are not going to outweigh some of the resources. Because when you use too much resources, it could consume more requirements in terms of equipment, for instance. So we're looking for possibility of having general purpose off-the-shelf PCs. The ordinary PC, you should be able to run your telemedicine system successfully. So patients will be comfortable to use their simple system without a need to go and buy a very expensive system because before they can achieve it. Similarly, specialists should be able to use a minimal required system without any issue. Electronic stethoscope, image capture equipment, all these are actually necessary to have a fully functioning telemedicine system. Intervention, direct influence on patient treatment is very important. This is the objective. So the future of the telemedicine we are looking forward to is a circumstance whereby there will not be difference between being with a patient physically and being with a patient remotely. Everything will be as if the doctor is rightly beside the patient. So indirect influence, final decision made by the intermediate party also need to be taken care of to ensure all are within the secured system. Patient number, one patient at a time, multiple patients, depending on the system. So where a number of patient cases are considered at the same time, we make sure that the system has the capability to have something we call concurrency sometimes. Because when we have multiple patients, we have multiple doctors that can attend to them without issues. So this is the hope, and this is where we are looking forward to see how we can have a fully functioning telemedicine system for remote access without issues. Duration, very important. Time span over which the connection session take place. It's very important. And the processing capability of the system matters a lot. Like I said, we can't wait and wait and wait till the results are populated by the system. So this is one of the things we are looking forward to see. We hope within a couple of months, there's a greater hope, we'll be able to have what we're looking for to achieve such system. And then we'll be glad to actually have some of the output published as well. Thank you for listening to me. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Adisha, for the informative presentation. So it has given us a better understanding about what is telemedicine. So now we will open the floor for the short Q&A session. Participants, now you are welcome to post your question in the chat box. So while we're waiting for the question from the audience, I would like to ask one question, Dr. Adishina.
Okay, Dr. Yes.
Because just now you are sharing about the basic characteristic about telemedicine. So can I ask about the cost, especially for the healthcare provider?
Yeah, thank you so much for the question. For now, what we're looking for, we're still working on the system. Like I said, the system has not been fully released. We want to ensure we have it fully functioning. So like I said, I've been working on this project for almost 10, 12 years ago. And then we've been doing it phase by phase. So once this is done, and then we will look forward to see if there could be any kind of a subsidy, because the greater intention is for us to make it available for the populace to use. And then we can also add more values to it. And then up to gradually we can improve some of the activities within it. May I inform you that we've been comparing side by side with a number of medical solutions as we are developing. For instance, we've been able to compare with Volview, some of the solutions developed in the US. We have been able to look into what is the difference between ours and theirs, and quite a number of them as well. So the hope is once we are able to have reach a very good substantial stage, it will be easy for us to now see how possible to make it available for people, maybe at a kind of a subsidized rate, if we are able to see kind of a support that can make that possible. But for now, I think we do not have a decision on how much or how will it be available in terms of cost to the medics. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Dr. Additional, for your explanation. So, the audience, do you have any question to ask? All right. So, if there are no further questions, we shall now move to the closing part of today's session. So, to conclude today's event, may I invite Dr. Suman, our Deputy Dean for Postgraduate and Collaborations, to deliver the closing remarks. Dr. Suman, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Yap, the Master of Ceremony for today's event. Distinguished speakers and dear participants, thank you for being part of today's session on the theme of innovating for better health, smarter system, and connected life. My sincere appreciation to our speakers, Prof. Shivandu from GGITS, India. We have Dr. Adishina from MMU, Malaysia. And we have Dr. Uswita from UIN Suka Kalijuga, right, from Indonesia. And you have shared with us a lot of different kinds of perspective, and it's very inspiring for our participants as well as for me, in the sense of how AI is actually driving different kinds of research. And I believe the contribution that you have already shared with us brings a different perspective to all of our audience today. I would also like to thank all the participants, lecturers, students from different universities, and also the organizing committee for making this session a successful one. And we hope that this session marks as the beginning of a very meaningful contributions in terms of education and research, and there is a continued engagement across different institutions, right? And as we move forward, a kind reminder to all of us that innovation grows best when the ideas are shared, and the connections will definitely be growing, right? So with that, I hereby conclude today's session. Thank you all, and I hope you have a great day ahead. Back to you, Dr. Yap.
Thank you, Dr. Suman, for your closing remarks. So, now on behalf of the organizing committee, I would like to express our sincere appreciation again to all speakers for their valuable sharing and to all participants for your presence and support. So before we conclude, may we kindly remind all participants to complete the attendance and the feedback form. And we also like to invite everyone to remain for the short group photo session. So could you turn on your camera if possible? Yeah, please take your time. We will wait for a few more seconds.
You can stop sharing your screen, Dr. Adi, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please kindly turn on your camera. Yeah, we're going to have a group photo soon. We will give a few more moments for everyone to turn on your cameras.
Okay, Mr. Alvin, are you ready to take the picture, or have you taken?
Okay, so okay, Mr. Alvin.
Yes, I had already taken the photo. Right, thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, everyone. So we will end this session officially. Thank you, everyone, for your participation, and have a nice day ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.